Hulk Hogan's life is full of body slams, championships, and controversy. But behind the Hulkamania, why do some wrestling legends view him as a villain? This guy isn't just a wrestler, he's a phenomenon who transformed the landscape of professional wrestling over a jaw-dropping 3 decades. With his iconic leg drop and the unforgettable catchphrase, "What you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you?" Hogan wasn't just performing, but he reshaped the WWE universe. His star shone brightest during the 80s and 90s, making him the ultimate face of WWE and later dominating WCW. But it's not all sunshine and leg drops. Hogan's journey has been peppered with controversies that have created quite the buzz. From the ring to the headlines, the story of Hulk Hogan is one wild roller coaster ride filled with triumphs, trials, and an unmatched dose of Hulkamania. This video is fully packed with the controversies that influenced Hogan's relationships with other wrestlers. But before starting this video, hit that subscribe button to get more exciting content in future videos. Backstage Politics and Refusal to Put Over Others. The whirlwind controversies surrounding Hulk Hogan. While he's celebrated as a wrestling legend, many wrestlers have serious grievances, mainly due to his backstage politics. Hogan has earned a reputation for using his star power to sway storylines and decisions, often sidelining his peers in the process. One major sticking point is the idea of putting over. This crucial practice involves one wrestler letting another win to boost their status. However, many wrestlers accuse Hogan of shying away from this, especially when it jeopardizes his position as the top star. This tension adds layers to his legacy, keeping fans and insiders buzzing. Bret Hart and Randy Savage feuds. Two of the most talked about instances of Hulk Hogan's alleged reluctance to share the spotlight involve none other than Bret the Hitman Hart and Macho Man Randy Savage. Bret Hart hasn't held back in expressing his frustration with Hogan during their WWE days. He's claimed that Hogan flat-out refused to lose to him in a key match that could have catapulted Hart to superstardom in the early 90s. Hart believes that Hogan was more focused on preserving his own legacy than on elevating the next generation of wrestlers, leaving Bret feeling sidelined at a pivotal moment in his career. Then there's the saga of Randy Savage, who was not just a close ally to Hogan, but also a fierce competitor in the ring. Over time, though, Savage grew increasingly frustrated with Hogan's apparent unwillingness to share the limelight. Their on-screen feud mirrored the tension brewing behind the scenes, as Savage felt Hogan was overshadowing his successes, despite being an incredibly popular figure himself. Sadly, their once solid friendship began to crumble under the weight of these professional disputes, leaving fans to wonder what might have been if they had united instead of clashed. Shawn Michaels feud and SummerSlam 2005. Oh, here's a juicy piece of wrestling history that's sure to get the fans talking. Remember that infamous showdown between Hulk Hogan and Shawn Michaels at SummerSlam 2005? It was a classic tale of ego and drama behind the scenes. Originally, the plan was to have these two titans of the ring trade victories in a thrilling back and forth. But Hogan had other ideas. Reports say he flat-out refused to lose to Michaels, which led to a single match where, surprise, surprise, Hogan came out on top. But wait, it gets better. In a bold move that made waves throughout the wrestling world, Michaels decided to oversell Hogan's moves during their match. You know what that means. He exaggerated every bump and reaction to the point where it's downright theatrical. This wasn't just a performance, it was a protest against Hogan's backstage power plays. The match became legendary, not just for the outcome, but for Michaels' dramatic antics, which only fueled the narrative that Hogan was hesitant to pass the torch to the next generation of stars. Hulk Hogan hijacks the Starcade 1994 main event to help a buddy. At Starcade 1994, Hulk Hogan created a stir by hijacking the main event to benefit his buddy Brutus Beefcake, wrestling as the Butcher. Instead of facing the much-anticipated opponent Vader, Hogan used his backstage clout to secure a title match for himself and Beefcake, leaving fans frustrated. The match fell flat, as many saw Beefcake as an unconvincing challenger, lacking the excitement expected from a main event. Hogan retained his title, solidifying his top spot in WCW but fueling discontent among fans and wrestlers alike, highlighting his tendency to prioritize personal relationships over the promotion's competitive spirit. Shawn Michaels vanquishes the British Bulldog on his home turf. Wow, things are heating up in the world of wrestling. It's starting to feel like a classic rivalry between Michaels and Hogan, and this time we're dialing it back to HBK at the One Night Only event in Birmingham, England. It's 1997, and Shawn is set to face the British Bulldog, who's about to get a raucous hometown welcome for the European Championship. Originally, the plan was for Bulldog to keep his title and end the night on a high note, a real feel-good moment for the crowd. But, oh boy, Shawn had other ideas. With a flair for the dramatic and a little backstage maneuvering, he persuaded Vince to switch up the script. In a time when Shawn could practically ask for the moon and get it, Vince caved into his charm. And what a shocking finish it was! Shawn snatched the victory, then proceeded to taunt the livid crowd alongside his pals Triple H and Chyna. The arena erupted with boos and debris, all directed at those cocky heels, while the Bulldog was left heartbroken, robbed of a monumental win. Just goes to show, sometimes the drama backstage can steal the spotlight from the ring. The 1990s steroid scandal that shook WWE. The Hulk Hogan steroid scandal of the early 1990s was a groundbreaking controversy that not only rocked Hogan's iconic status, but also shed light on the pervasive steroid use in professional wrestling. At the peak of his stardom in the 1980s, Hogan stood as the undisputed face of the WWF, mesmerizing fans with his chiseled physique that embodied the wrestling culture of the era. The scandal surfaced during a crucial time when the government was cracking down on anabolic steroids, following the 1989 Anti-Drug Abuse Act that classified these substances as controlled. Tensions escalated during the 1991 trial of Dr. George Zahorian, the WWF's ringside physician, who faced allegations of illegally distributing steroids to wrestlers. Hogan's name emerged as a focal point in the proceedings, forcing him to vehemently deny steroid use despite growing evidence against him. The situation reached a boiling point in 1993, when Vince McMahon was indicted for steroid distribution, leading Hogan to testify that he had, in fact, used steroids for approximately 13 years. This shocking admission not only contradicted his earlier statements, but also tarnished his reputation as a role model. However, it played a crucial role in McMahon's acquittal. In the wake of this scandal, the WWF implemented a drug testing policy, marking a significant shift in its approach to wrestler health and safety. Despite Hogan's continued success, particularly after reinventing himself as a villain in WCW, the scandal remains a significant blemish on both his legacy and the history of professional wrestling, highlighting the industry's ongoing battle with performance-enhancing drugs. Hogan's son crashed a car and killed a guy. In August 2007, a devastating car accident changed everything for Hulk Hogan's son, Nick Balea. The tragedy unfolded in Clearwater, Florida, when Nick was behind the wheel of a souped-up Toyota Supra, speeding at a shocking 100 miles per hour. It all happened in a flash. He lost control and crashed into a concrete wall, and the fallout was nothing short of heartbreaking. Nick's passenger, his friend John Graziano, suffered severe head injuries from the impact and was left in a permanent vegetative state. It was a nightmare that no one could have anticipated. Following the incident, Nick faced serious consequences. He was charged with felony reckless driving. In May 2008, he pleaded no contest, leading to an 8-month jail sentence, 5 years of probation, and a hefty 500 hours of community service. The case made headlines not just because of the Hogan family's fame, but also due to the tragic outcome and its devastating effect on Graziano's family. It sparked important conversations about the responsibilities of young drivers and the influence of celebrity culture, highlighting the real-life consequences of reckless behavior on the road. This incident cast a long shadow over the Hogan family, affecting their public image and reminding everyone of the heavy weight of choices made behind the wheel. Hogan's homophobic comments were caught on tape. In 2015, Hulk Hogan found himself at the center of a major scandal when a shocking tape was leaked. revealing him making homophobic comments. This tape was part of a larger sex tape that was released without his consent, and it took a turn for the worse during a private conversation where he dropped racial slurs and shared negative opinions about the LGBTQ+ community, particularly targeting his daughter Brooke's dating choices. In the recording, Hogan expressed that he wouldn't want Brooke to date a black man, and he made a series of derogatory remarks about gay individuals. The fallout was immediate and intense, igniting a firestorm of backlash from fans, advocacy groups, and fellow wrestlers alike. As a result of the uproar, WWE cut ties with Hogan completely. They removed him from their Hall of Fame and pulled all his merchandise from stores. In the wake of the controversy, Hogan issued a public apology, expressing regret for his comments and acknowledging the pain they caused. He claimed to have undergone personal growth and to have learned from his mistakes. This incident sparked broader discussions about racism, homophobia, and accountability in the entertainment industry, especially for those figures who are seen as role models. Hogan's remarks significantly impacted his public image, creating a complex legacy that intertwines his status as a wrestling icon with the controversies surrounding his personal views and actions. A sex tape featuring the legend surfaced in 2012. In 2012, the internet was set ablaze when a shocking sex tape featuring none other than wrestling legend Hulk Hogan, born Terry Bollea, hit the web, sending shockwaves through the wrestling world and beyond. This tape, filmed back in 2006, captured Hogan in a steamy encounter with Heather Clem, the former wife of radio personality Bubba the Love Sponge. What made it even more scandalous? Hogan claimed it was leaked without his consent, throwing up a massive red flag about invasion of privacy. The fallout was dramatic. Hogan didn't just sit back, he took action, launching a high-profile lawsuit against Gawker Media, the site that posted snippets of the tape. His argument? They violated his right to privacy and caused him serious emotional turmoil. As the case unraveled in the spotlight, it became a media frenzy, showcasing not just the lurid details of the tape, but also Hogan's fierce battle to protect his hard-earned reputation. Fast forward to March 2016, when the jury delivered a jaw-dropping verdict. Hogan was awarded a staggering $140 million in damages. This was a monumental win for the wrestling superstar and a crushing blow for Gawker, who found themselves facing the consequences of their actions. The lawsuit ultimately led to Gawker's downfall, resulting in bankruptcy and a sale in 2018. This incident sparked a fiery debate about celebrity privacy, the ethics of sharing intimate videos, and the legal repercussions of such leaks. It had a profound impact on Hogan's career and public image, complicating his legacy as a wrestling icon and raising serious questions about personal boundaries in our hyper-connected digital age. The NWO era and Hogan's heel turn. In 1996, Hulk Hogan sent shockwaves through the wrestling universe with a jaw-dropping move. He turned heel and joined the New World Order in World Championship Wrestling. This dramatic shift, which unfolded at the Bash of the Beach pay-per-view, saw Hogan team up with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, fully embracing a rebellious and villainous persona as Hollywood Hogan. This transformation not only breathed new life into Hogan's career, but also ignited the legendary NWO storyline, one of the most iconic angles in wrestling history. It was a key player in WCW's takeover of WWE during the late 90s. But here's where things get complicated. While Hogan was electrifying fans and raking in ratings, his backstage behavior was stirring up trouble. His insistence on staying at the top of the NWO hierarchy created tension among his fellow wrestlers, many of whom felt overshadowed by his massive star power. Some of his peers accused him of being reluctant to elevate younger talent, leaving them feeling sidelined and stifling their opportunities to shine. This complex dynamic paints a picture of Hulk Hogan as both a wrestling icon and a polarizing figure. He was a master at creating unforgettable moments that kept fans glued to their screens, but his backstage actions often sparked controversy and dissent among his colleagues. It's this duality that complicates Hogan's legacy in the wrestling industry, leaving many to wonder, was he a hero or a villain in the grand scheme of the squared circle? Hulk Hogan's legacy is a wild ride of triumph and controversy. On one hand, he played a pivotal role in catapulting professional wrestling to incredible heights, solidifying his status as one of the most iconic figures in the sport's history. But hold on, there's another side to the story. His backstage politics, personal feuds, and off-screen drama have left a sour taste in the mouths of many wrestlers. Hogan's legacy is anything but straightforward. While he'll forever be celebrated as a wrestling legend, it's crystal clear that not everyone in the industry shares the same admiration for him. It's this fascinating mix of adoration and animosity that makes Hulk Hogan one of the most intriguing figures in wrestling history. If you enjoyed this video of Hulk Hogan, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more captivating content on wrestling legends and their incredible journeys. And we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on Hogan's complex legacy? Share your opinions in the comments below. Whether you see him as a hero or a controversial figure, your voice matters in this discussion. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep the Hulkamania spirit alive.